Hi, this is Bob for Bob's Movie Reviews, and today I'd like to review for you a movie I watched recently in theaters called Man of Steel. Now, when I do these movie theater reviews, I don't like to give away too much. I like to do a lot more in the Blu-ray review, and I kind of at the end, I just tell you whether I think you'll like it or not. So, Man of Steel, well, they couldn't even call it Superman. So, I really wasn't expecting a lot from this movie, just from the previews. You know, I'm tired of these origin stories and never-ending sequels, and, but you know, there hasn't been a Man of Steel, a Superman movie in a while, so maybe they could do it right. Let's start off with the star of this movie, Henry Cavill. Cavill? Not sure how you say it exactly. He plays Superman, obviously, Clark Kent, and I thought he did a pretty good job. I kind of feel like this. He was super buff for this movie too, but I kind of feel like his face just was wrong for some reason. Like I'm not saying like he's a bad looking guy or anything. I'm just saying for me, I felt like for Superman, his face was wrong. So that's out of the way. Other than that, I thought everyone did a pretty good job. Next thing I'd really like to talk about is kind of the visual style of this movie, which I really didn't understand. You know, a blockbuster summer hit comic book adaptation. You know, you expect like crisp, clear visuals, just like the best movies out there. This is going to be one of the best looking movies out there. And the way they filmed this movie, a lot of it is grainy, and for some reason, like every scene, it seems like the whole background's either blurred out or parts of it are blurred out, and to me, it just doesn't give you that clear picture that you're expecting. And the color tones they used were kind of on the duller side, and it kind of, you know, it wasn't bright and vibrant, but then it would go from like dull to bright and vibrant, and kind of go back and forth, but mostly dull. Like sometimes when you see Superman's cape, it's kind of like just this dark burgundy, and then other times it looks like this shiny candy red. And to me, they should have the whole thing should have been bright, should have been clear, and I don't understand their selection there. Obviously, I didn't make the movie, but to me, it's not the right look for a movie like this. Now let's talk more about the movie. So, I kind of felt like, also another thing I did not enjoy was the way they told the story. Let me get this out there. There's nothing wrong with the story. The story's fine, but it's one of those kind of movies that jumps around. So you start out on I can't remember the name. You start out on his home planet, which of course I cannot seem to remember. On Krypton. You start out at his home planet on Krypton, and it's like before he's born, and him being born, and then you like fast forward to like him current day, and then you go back to him as a small child, and then it's like further back, you know, like current day, but now it's like a couple months later or whatever. Then you go back to him a little bit older, and it just kind of jumps all over the place, back and forth. And to me, it's like, okay, you just start on Krypton, and then you show him as a kid, and then you show him as a teenager, and then you show him as an adult, and they kind of just jumped around, like. And to me, it's just stupid. I don't care for that. One thing that they did right, though, I think, is I thought this was going to be a lot more about him being a child, and kind of like him developing his powers. It really wasn't like that at all. Even though while he was a child, he did have some powers, it's not really focusing on his childhood. It's more of him as an adult. But, so the movie is about, obviously him becoming Superman, because he's just a regular guy trying to fit in, and, but then he keeps having to save people, and he's got to move and try to fit in somewhere else, use all these fake identities, and he doesn't want anyone to know who he is. Well, at the same time, somebody's trying to find him. So, I kind of felt like the villain in this movie, they could have done it. It didn't make sense to me, and I'll talk about that more when I do the Blu-ray review. But I just felt like it didn't necessarily make sense what was going on, and so what did I think of this movie? I thought this was an okay movie. I wasn't expecting much, and I wasn't disappointed. But I think, like, comic book fans, Superman fans, I talked to a couple people that had seen this movie, and they told me, they really liked it. Everyone I talked to said they didn't like the ending. But some people who maybe weren't such big of fans, they didn't like it. And so I think it's kind of like right there in the middle. Some people are going to be really disappointed by this movie. I don't think it lives up to the previous one. And that's the only one I'm at all really familiar with. I'm not like a big comic book fan or Superman fan or anything. So I really don't think this movie lives up to the summer blockbuster title. But I don't think it's a terrible movie. So 50-50 shot if you want to go see it. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up, and I will see you next time.